watching. Yes.
It is a summer-like day here at Yankee Stadium, a gorgeous day for a ball game, and a great day for Max Fried to make his Yankee debut. First time he dons the pinstripes here in the Bronx, and he'll get the start against Milwaukee. And it is time for baseball, as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Brewers against the defending American League champion New York Yankees in the second game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Opening week, presented by PNC Bank. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and Joe Girardi. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees won on opening day, and they did it in fine fashion in front of a sellout crowd. They try to make it 2 in a row, and they send out the guy that is now the ace of the team, and that's Max Fried.
Michael, he's got a number of different pitches to carve you up, and what you're going to see is you're going to see a fastball that at some point this season will probably touch 97, and he has the ability to locate it on both sides of the plate. That is by you. He's got an outstanding changeup that he worked really hard on in spring training. He's got the sweeper to get the lefties and that 12-6 hook to get the righties. This guy is an outstanding pitcher. I had a front row seat in Philadelphia. Watch him carve up hitters. You see what he has done since 2019. Look at that stellar ERA, 3.06.
Well, in the first game on Thursday on opening day, the Yankees got just enough offense to win, and right in the middle of it, 2 youngsters who are really good friends, and they contributed home runs.
Well, you always want to get off to a good start, and you're going to wonder who is going to be part of this offense. Well, you got a catcher leading off. Why? Well, because he goes deep. First time in Major League history out in the stands. Got their fans going. And Anthony Volpe, you just hope that he continues to progress and become the player that the Yankees think he is. I mean, these are 2 guys that can add a lot to this Yankee offense.
Well, for Wells' first opening day leadoff home run in Yankees history, and for Volpe, second youngest shortstop behind Derek Jeter with an opening day home run. So good company for Anthony Volpe. You know, Aaron Judge used to be a young Yankee. Now he's a veteran. He's the captain. And he had a big hit on Thursday. He's got big aspirations for the upcoming season. Meredith Marakovich talks with the captain next.
It is a beautiful day for baseball on Yes here in the Bronx. Game 2 of the 3-game series between the Yankees and the Brewers is coming your way in just a few minutes. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovich. The Yankees got off to a nice start to their 2025 season with a 4-2 win over the Brewers on opening day. This afternoon, they'll try to continue their success. One thing has been abundantly clear with this team throughout the course of spring. Last year's trip to the World Series was not enough. This team is hungry for more.
Definitely anytime you get a little taste of it, you know, you want more. You know, we didn't seal the deal last year. We got a chance to go to the dance, but didn't finish it off. And, you know, going back to 23 where we didn't even make the postseason, that one that one stung for me the first time, that's happened to me in my career. And then, the following year we followed up with a chance to, we go to the World Series. So I think a lot of the young guys getting a chance to see that and get that experience is only going to drive those guys more to, the year before they had no fun in October to, this past season getting a chance to go to the World Series. So I think those guys are definitely hungry to repeat that and then change the script this year.
Yankees fans will get their first look at Max Fried in pinstripes. It's coming your way next, right here on Yes.
Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. By PNC Bank. Opening week presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. And by the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deals so right, it almost feels wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer. Crowd still filing in the Yankee Stadium on an unusually beautiful March day. It does feel like the middle of June. And it will be a big house for the second time in a row. Yankees sold out opening day. They won that game 4-2, trying to make it 2 in a row as they start this season with a homestand before hitting the road. Aaron Judge had a big hit, banging off the third base bag that drove in a run, gave the Yankees some insurance for that 9th inning. And now they're ready to make it 2 in a row as the Yankees take the field, led by their captain, Aaron Judge. And taking the mound for the first time here in the Bronx, it is Max Fried. Left-hander signed an 8-year, $218 million contract with the Yankees. And when they signed him, they said, wow, he's going to be one of the great number 2 starters in a rotation in baseball. But because of the injury to Garrett Cole, he has assumed the role of ace, and he is ready for that. He's done it before, and he pitched very well in spring training. And now he's ready to face the Milwaukee Brewers. Tall left-hander, thin, angular, and he is firing it to Austin Wells as he gets ready. Let's take a look at the Brewers starting lineup. Chourio in left field leads off. Yelich, the DH. Contreras will catch. Cleaning up first baseman Rhys Hoskins. Sal Frelick in right field. Joey Ortiz, the shortstop. Garrett Mitchell in center field will bat 7th. Third baseman Vinny Capri had a home run on opening day, and Bryce Turang is at second base, and he's going to bat 9th. And as we mentioned, they're facing that guy, Max Fried, last year with the Braves. 29 starts, 11-10, 3.25 ERA. You see the rest of the numbers. Let's check out the Nissan Pitchers Scouting Report.
Well, Max Fried is all about ground control. Number 1 in the L, number 2 in MLB, only behind Framber Valdez with a 59.2% ground ball rate. Not enough fingers. You don't have enough. He's got 7 pitches. I think that's why we went to PitchCom. And when they signed him, they said it was a luxury. Well, now with the injuries to the pitching staff, he is definitely a necessity.
Let's check out the defense behind him. You've got Bellinger in left today. Trent Grisham gets the start in center, and Aaron Judge over in right. This is a lineup against the lefty. Obviously, the Yankees are going to play every now and then. Pablo Reyes at third, Anthony Volpe at short. Jazz Chisholm plays second. Paul Goldschmidt is going to lead off. He's playing first base. Austin Wells behind the plate. Congrats, Daddy Judge. So you get a congratulations. You get a ball as Judge became a dad, baby girl, during the offseason. Chourio's ready. Fried is ready. Let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is grounded back to Fried, an outstanding fielder. 1 pitch, 1 out. It's time now for the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, you mentioned it, Michael. It's a lefty lineup. Paul Goldschmidt leading off for the first time in his 15-year career. Aaron Judge goes to the 3-hole. Wells down to the 6th hole. Who's on third? Pablo Reyes is today. He gets a start, 284 against lefties in his career. And getting to know you, new faces, different team, which is always fun to see how this Yankee team is going to come together and mesh and what type of year it's going to be.
1-0 count on Christian Yelich. The bleacher creatures doing a roll call. calling out Aaron Judge.
Michael, you probably know the answer to this. I mean, my scouting report, who's on third? That's wrong in the Abbott Costello. Who was on third?
I don't know who's on third base.
Ah, there we go. So I had to answer questions.
One of the reasons the Yankees shut down Milwaukee opening day is you look at their top 3 hitters. They were 0 for 13 with 7 Ks. That's how you shut down the top of the order.
Did you notice that Churio swung at the first pitch?
Well,
you know what? You strike out 5 times. You want to see something hit the bat early just to get it out of the way.
Home plate umpire is Tripp Gibson. Let's see what he's about. He's pitcher friendly. Calls more inside strikes on lefties, more outside strikes on righties. Tripp in his 13th big league season. Here's Contreras. Considered by many to be the best catcher in the majors. That's how good Contreras is. Now you have to watch for this. Max Fried, 23 pickoffs since 2019. Only Patrick Corbin has had more with 26.
Yeah, Milwaukee was second in baseball with stolen bases, 217 last year and 259 attempts, almost 84%. So they're very efficient as well as very aggressive. It's nice having those left-handers on the mound, though, that can control that running game a little bit. And you have one with a really good move as well. It's hard to run on him.
I mean, there had to be days when you felt like he had a day off as a catcher with Andy Pettitte out there. He had an unbelievable pickoff move. You just knew you weren't going to be challenged a lot running.
0-2 on Contreras. He was 0 for 4 on opening day. Contreras finished 5th in the National League MVP voting last year. 2-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger winner.
Up to 96 already today. I had it at 97 at some point in the year. Maybe it's going to be a little bit more.
Might be opening day, huh?
The 1-2. Off speed, breaking ball on the back outside corner. He's down looking.
Yeah, good luck in hitting that. You see the 12-6, 11-5 break on this, and it almost looks like it goes up first before it comes down, and then Austin Wells does a nice job of sticking this ball on the outside corner. This is outstanding command. You think about where do you go before that? He went up in the zone, so he tunneled it with a high fastball that looked like a fastball, and all of a sudden the bottom fell out.
Here's Rhys Hoskins. Rhys 0 for 2 on opening day.
Interesting there. He started him off with that sweeper. Rhys is not a guy that swings at the first pitch very often, but he did opening day off of Carlos Rodon, so he probably put that in his little memory bank, said, not today.
Line drive right at Volpe, and that'll do it here in the top of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Milwaukee nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. Well, a little bit of a different Yankee starting lineup today, and different for Paul Goldschmidt. First time in his career he will ever lead off. So he's leading off. Bellinger bats second, Judge third. Chisholm's cleaning up. Then it's Volpe, Wells, the newest Yankee Pablo Reyes. Jason Dominguez will DH and hit 8th. And batting 9th and playing center field, it is Trent Grisham. Now, you know the guy on the mound that they're going to face. If you're a Yankee fan, you're very familiar with Nestor Cortez. 31 games last year for the Yankees, 30 starts, 9-10, 3.77 ERA. Well, let's check out the Nissan Pitchers scouting report.
Well, it is a familiar face, and in the last 5 seasons, a 3.61 ERA. Got a nice cheer opening day and a nice cheer when they announced his name today, but that will probably be the end of the nice cheers. Home cooking. Yeah, it's supposed to be a question mark because he's with the Milwaukee Brewers on the road today. But since 2001, 44 starts here, a 2.83 ERA. Any new tricks? You know that he'll drop down to Tosada. You know that he'll hesitate. Does he have any new tricks for the Yankees?
Goldschmidt swings at the first pitch and lofts it to left center field and deep. Mitchell back, track, wall, see ya! There's a leadoff hitter, 1-0 Yanks.
Paul Goldschmidt, first of the year. I mean, you look at opening day, Austin Wells right out of the chute. Kind of a awkward leadoff hitters for both of them. Home runs right off the bat.
I know one thing. If I don't have a hit yet, I'm going into Aaron Boone's office tomorrow morning early.
Wow.
That is the first home run by a Yankee first baseman in 67 games. Bellinger lost one deep to right center. There it goes into the bleachers. See ya. Back to back. It is 2-0 Yanks.
Clay Bellinger, he checked one of the boxes. Always want to get that first home run out of the way. I mean to tell you, 2 pitches, 2 home runs. So much for working the count.
I got to believe I might be throwing a ball here. Just
you might want to put a wrinkle in one of them. The fastball's not getting by him.
That one's driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Back to back to back. 3-0 Yankees.
Michael, how do you top this as a first inning? 3 pitches, 3 home runs. The Yankees on fire here early.
Reminds me of a story that Yogi used to tell. Whitey Ford was on the mound and he gave up like 6 straight hits on first pitches, and Casey Stengel came out. He said, what kind of stuff he has? I haven't caught it. I don't know.
Well, there's Goldschmidt. Little fastball out over the plate, and Nestor does like his fastball, but up in the strike zone, you're going to get a lot of 5 balls. Warm day, the ball's carrying. And here's another one. Clay Bellinger, he catches up to 1-2. And this next fellow, Michael, we've been seeing this now for 10 years. Aaron Judge just crushes one. It's got to be so hard. And Joe, you've caught guys that have been parts of organizations, and then they get traded or end up somewhere else, and you end up pitching against your former team, your friends. It's just got to be hard.
Yeah, they have taken his aggressiveness with the hard stuff. I mean, he threw a cut fastball to Aaron Judge, but they were ready to hit from pitch 1, and it's back to back or belly to belly, to back.
First time in Yankee history leading off a game with 3 straight home runs on 3 pitches.
Well, I brought up in the scouting report the home cooking, the 2.83 ERA at Yankee Stadium over his career. Hasn't been too friendly so far.
Maybe it's a uniform. You put another uniform on, things change.
And a strikeout of Chisholm. 1 away.
Boy, Aaron Judge, you just see, and when he puts himself in that position, no lunging, waiting for the ball to get there, just love to see his swing day in and day out because of the consistency of where he is, where his hands are, where his body is when the ball gets to the hitting area.
One and 0 on Volpe. You know, talking to Boone in spring training, he was talking about Nestor getting the start. He said it's going to be interesting to see if Nestor can control his emotions and his command right out of the box, because he's going to be so jacked up about being back at the stadium.
Yeah, I always think it's difficult coming back to face your old team, or whether you're a hitter, pitcher, whatever you want, because you want to do well so bad that you end up trying too hard.
Right. And it's funny because I always remember Sterling Hitchcock. Remember him? And he would always say how he would get you out. And then he ended up going to San Diego. And you remember this. I mean, he as a pitcher, you've watched teammates and you think you know how to get him out.
Right back to Nestor. 2-away.
Well, there's one of the better home run hitters that this game has ever seen. The first one of the year.
Yeah, and you remember the March and April that he had last year where he struggled so mightily. He's got a double opening day with an RBI and now a home run. I think it's really important that he gets off to a good start. Just with the changes that have been made, relying on some of the younger kids, some pitching issues that they're going through, he needs to be big this first month of the year until they start to get some people back.
What a great shot of the dugout. Cody Bellinger didn't even have time to celebrate, and then he saw the ball fly and he jumped up with a big grin on his face. Fly ball left field. Churio back on the track at the wall. They've done it again. 4 first-inning home runs, and the Yankees lead 4-0.
I don't know how you script a better first inning. I mean, if you're Austin Wells, you want to stay in off lefties, and Nestor has had really good numbers off lefties in his career. Lefties coming into the game only hitting 182. Cody Bellinger, Austin Wells already got him in the first inning.
Yeah, it has to be hard not to get caught up in this lineup right now trying to hit a home run. If you're Pablo Reyes, think about what Chisholm had to do after back-to-back-to-back. Here's the thing, Aaron Boone was bragging about Austin Wells, and the Friday before the last weekend they went over to play in Lakeland. Lakeland's a big ballpark. He hit a home run his first at bat to left field, similar to that one, then one to right field, and almost went deep in dead center. Now dead center's like 430 feet with a, I don't know, 30-foot wall. I mean, he looks really good at the plate, and I want to see him play against left-handers and figure that part out, because this guy's got a lot of power. He's got really good idea of what the strike zone is. He doesn't chase, and you want to see that dangerous bat in the lineup every day.
There's a walk to Reyes.
Again, as a lefty, you really got to work on staying in there, and it's not like you're beat going the other way. It's just that, you're waiting to see the ball a little bit longer from a lefty. And we talked about an unusually warm day. The ball's carrying, fly balls are flying, and Nestor Cortez is having a nightmare of a first inning.
There's Dominguez. This is the first time in their history, which begins in 1903, that the Yankees have hit 4 home runs in the first inning of a game, ever.
I'm glad they didn't waste this on opening day. They waited till Yes came on the broadcast. Right?
Good point. It's a great point, and I think that they were very well aware.
Yeah.
They wanted to give a great hitter like yourself something to talk about.
Yeah.
And you used to always ask in the clubhouse, can a man forget how to hit a homer in a week? Well, they didn't forget.
No. I tell you what, Michael's going to have strained vocal cords here before we get to the second.
you never know what to make of spring training numbers, right? The Yankees played 33 games. They led all of baseball in home runs with 59. Aaron Judge only hit 1, so there are a lot of other people doing a lot of damage. Well, we've seen that so far in the first 2 games.
Well, Nestor is really laboring. He walks Dominguez. So 4 home runs, 2 walks, and Grisham will come to the plate. There's no action in Milwaukee's bullpen.
Oh, you're already looking at his 26th pitch coming up. He's giving up 4 home runs. I mean, this is where you've got to step off the mound, and you really haven't even seen a mound visit. Joe, from the catcher, William Contreras.
Well,
so
now the athletic trainer's coming out, and you wonder if something's up. That it's not just ineffectiveness, but something could be up.
Well, this would be devastating for him because they made the trade for Devin Williams because they have starting pitching issues. I mean, they have 4 starters down. They have Woodruff, Myers, Ashby, and DJ Hall down.
Yep.
And they're not sure when they're going to get them all back. So this would be devastating.
Well, they like what they hear. They're going back to the dugout, and Cortez remains on the mound. First and second, 2 outs. The number 9 hitter, the center fielder Trent Grisham, against Nestor Cortez.
You don't expect a lot of things with the left-handed lineup, but it's a little surprising to have Grisham face a lefty.
Interesting you asked that question. He actually hits lefties better than righties. 211 versus lefties, 184 versus righties last year. So it's either him or Rice is what you're kind of measuring, or Oswald Peraza is the other way that you could go. So in his career, it's been that way as well. 241, 740 OPS against lefties, 204, 684 against righties. So what does that tell you?
Well, I know one thing it tells you. He plays good defense against righties and lefties. And you know, you're never going to miss that by putting him in the lineup. But, you know, every time you think of a lefty lineup, you kind of want to stack it with, you know, your right-handed hitters. But it's an interesting stat you had there, Joe.
One of the things about Nestor, too, is 70% of what lefties see or saw last year was either a four-seamer or a cutter. So everything was hard. So you can kind of sit on that a little bit. I mean, you're going to have a tough time hitting his good sweeper anyway if you're a left-handed hitter, unless he leaves it middle in.
Still 1-2. Game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the Yankees. They're hot. It's 78 degrees. Wind is swirling. Slight chance of rain. Humidity is 34%.
How'd you dial this up, this 75-degree day?
I brought it on the plane yesterday from Florida. You kind of like it.
I see.
You know how those planes, you know, they carry the signs over the ocean? I just took a warm breeze and brought it with me.
Strike 3. Grisham down looking. But it was a first inning of first. 4 home runs for the Yankees in the first. All on first pitches, the first 3. First time in Yankee history that they've had 4 home runs in the first. And when it's all said and done, you have a first inning for the ages and a 4-0 Yankee lead. 4-0 Yankee lead for Max Fried, and he deals a strike to Sal Frelick. Kind of hard to digest what just happened.
Wow, I'm kind of scratching my head up here, and it was like Nestor was not going to get away from his fastball, which he does use it a lot. This is a little jam shot that kind of find the right spot. Milwaukee, they do run well, so it does put pressure on any kind of play like this. Anything on the defensive end of the ball, it's got to happen quick. He goes for the bare hand. So it just go off the palm of your hand. Looks easy in slow motion, doesn't it?
Well, Max Fried was having to determine could he get to it. He was hoping that he would get to it. That was really the only chance that they had. And he had to change course a little bit. By that time, it's too late.
Joey Ortiz came over from the Orioles in the deal for Corbin Burns. And he's the shortstop now, with Willie Adames having signed a free agent contract with San Francisco. Another tapper in front of the plate. Wells Fields goes to second. But he's calling the batter out, and he's sending the runner back to first.
Almost hit him outside the batter's box, huh?
Yeah, that's the only thing that you could call him out for.
Yeah, as he's running out of the box, you see, then he makes contact, and so he's out. Good call.
Did you see him make contact?
I think it hits his bat. It comes down and hits his bat again, is what I saw. And I'm not sure he's completely out of the batter's.
And hit his shoulder there.
Shoulder.
Yeah, good call by Trip Gibson. I mean, that's a hard call for an umpire to keep your eye on the baseball.
Talk about a frustrating out.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I mean, we know that he's a ground ball machine, and we've seen both balls this inning put on the ground, and we saw one in the first inning, but that's a tough one to swallow.
I'd be good with that one, right?
Oh,
coming back to the dugout.
I think the Gatorade jug had a problem.
Here's Garrett Mitchell. And a strike.
Now, I'm going to ask you, Paul, something, because obviously we keep score. How do you score that?
I think the catcher gets the out.
To you?
Yeah.
All right, I'm writing it in, Michael, and if you're wrong, I'm coming back to you.
Well, you got a bottle of white out over there just in case things change.
A big bottle.
Well, the book on Max Fried is he gets soft contact, and you need people that are going to field the ball behind him, and he's gotten soft contact so far today. The only hard hit ball by Rhys Hoskins, the line drive to Volpe. He's going to get ground balls.
He gets weak contact, a lot of top balls, so a lot of times you want, maybe your third baseman to shorten up a little bit when a right-handed hitter's up because of that.
That was a strike to Mitchell.
You see Cody Bellinger really taking away the bloop single in left field. Mitchell at the plate. Griffin and Judge pretty much normal depth, but Cody Bellinger way in and left.
Just missed the outside corner, 3-2.
Paul, do you remember in the years that we played that you'd see such a discrepancy in fastballs? No.
I mean, you mentioned coming
92 to 97 so far today.
Yeah, it's you would see that once in a while with a four-seam fastball and a two-seam fastball, which I don't understand now. Guys throw their two-seamers as hard as their four-seamers. I don't know what has changed in baseball, but that didn't used to happen.
It's called grip it and rip it.
Yeah.
Did he get his hand or the bat? They're saying they got his hand. No, they're checking with the first base ump. Frelick is staying on first before a call is made.
Yeah, this looks like Aaron Boone thinking this is a possible swing. And, if the bat gets through the hitting zone, whether it hits you or not. We'll have to watch a replay here. Now he is going to take first base. Did he attempt a swing here? No, I think that's No question there.
Well, last year at the end of spring training, he got hit in that right wrist and missed the first 3 months. He's had a hard time staying healthy. You look at the amount of bats he has per year. They're really excited about him because he's a physical center fielder. He's 6'2", probably 215 pounds. Sometimes when you get hit, I mean, it just ends up in broken bones, but it looks like he's going to be okay. He's had rib cage, left knee.
And that'll bring up Vinny Capra. Had his first big league home run opening day. And despite the home run being hit in a visiting ballpark, the Yankee fan that caught it gave him the ball and then was rewarded with a signed baseball and a signed bat. And on that home run, the Brewers radio broadcaster Lane Grindle honored the late Bob Uecker with the signature call of get up, get out of here, gone. And Uecker is very much missed around baseball, particularly around Milwaukee. He was the man for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Well, Michael, it's been 75 years, I was reading today, that Bob Uecker or Vin Scully did not do the opening game.
Wow.
75 years of baseball.
One. Capra lines it the other way, foul. Capra had a big spring training, hit .358, 6 home runs, tied for the major league lead. And then said, you know, it's not a fluke when he did this on Thursday.
Yeah, high fastball. Rodon got the ball up in the strike zone, and again, he earned a job. He's a hope that you know, as a manager, Joe, you've seen this. You know, you have a great spring training. Sometimes it doesn't correlate into a great year, but got up to a good start with a home run on opening day.
Up the middle and through for a base hit. Frelick rounds third. He's coming home. Grisham flips the ball into Volpe. It's an RBI single for Capra, and it's 4-1 Yanks.
Well, it's an important inning for the Milwaukee. Obviously, 4 home runs in the first inning to try to bounce back. This is a breaking ball that does not have a lot of bite on it and just kind of stays up in the strike zone, lined right back up the middle. Milwaukee gets your first run.
Scored 3 runs in these 2 games so far, and Vinny Capra, who didn't know he was going to make the team, has driven in 2 of them. They have Oliver Dunn, a left-handed hitter from the, so it'll be a platoon situation similar to what the Yankees are going to do.
There's Bryce Turang. That was a strike. Turang won the Gold Glove last season at second base, and he also won the Platinum Glove as the National League's best defender at any position. He's 25 years old. You'll like some of these names, Paul. So Sal Frelick won a Gold Glove in right. So Frelick and Turang became the first Brewer teammates to win Gold Gloves since 1979. Cecil Cooper and Sixto Lescano.
I remember them both.
So Max Fried, a little bit of a jam here in the second.
Max Fried, to me, was a little bit different in spring training from what we've seen in the past to left-handed hitters. He was a guy that never threw his changeup much to lefties. He threw a ton of it in spring training and had a lot of success. Lefties hit him last year, which is really unusual, so he's trying to change some things up. Haven't seen a whole lot today, though.
Yeah, I just look back at, I mean, the ability to see the ball from a left-handed pitcher, it makes it difficult if they hide the ball or if they're a sidearm. And Fried is kind of pretty much short arm over the top, which would give you a good look, not really deceptive for a left-handed hitter.
Ground ball, Chisholm. There's one. Not in time, gets by Goldschmidt. And that allows Mitchell to score. So a costly error would have been the end of the inning, but instead the inning continues and the Yankees have a 2-run lead.
Yeah, it looked like a tailor-made double play off the bat. And, you know, Jazz gets him the ball quick, but it gets stuck. And at that point, you got to pretty much just kind of hold on to it, because with the overthrow, you gave up a run.
Yeah, and you have to understand who's running, too. Turang really gets down the line well. He's a left-handed hitter. He's in the top 50 in sprint speed. A lot of these Milwaukee Brewers are.
Line drive, it's a base hit to right field off the bat of Churio. Fielded out there by Judge. Going to third is Turang. The throw comes into second. So Milwaukee with runners on first and third and 2 outs.
Well, you've had some soft contact, but then you've had some hanging breaking balls that are getting hit hard. This ball, again, another breaking ball that just kind of hangs up in the strike zone. And a good job to line it the other way.
You know, as a catcher and a manager, I always loved when our teams had big innings.
Mm-hmm.
But you worry when pitchers sit for a long time.
Right.
Do they come back and just because they want to get in a rhythm where they're out there every 12, 14 minutes, and all of a sudden you sit for a while. Somewhat of a long first inning, even though there were a lot of first pitch home runs. A lot of times they don't come back as sharp.
You know, it's funny because you have so much emotion coming into the game. Obviously, it's opening day. You're a new pitcher to a new organization, and then you have that bottom of the first that just kind of lose it for a minute. And remember, now it's 4-2, and you've got some big pitches here with 2 outs.
Well, it would be hard not to get caught up in the offense.
Yeah,
right. Where you want to stay focused on what your job is.
Christian Yelich takes a strike. He walked in the first inning. He was 0 for 4 on opening day. Was having a good year last year until a back injury in late July. Had to have season-ending surgery. 33 years old. 13th big league season.
What about left-handers that could do what he just did there, run the ball in on you?
I just was shaking my head because that's a pitch as a lefty you just cannot handle because it just keeps running in on your hands. The only thing you can do is open up and pull it foul, and you don't want to get a habit of do that. See, that ball just chases you inside, and you're just beat. Nothing you can do.
And his 2 strikeouts came. Now, they were from right-handers, but they were in that up and in quadrant yesterday or on Thursday that they got him. I mean, he's a guy that stays on the ball really well, uses the whole field, uses the middle of the field. So that up and in becomes really important to Christian Yelich.
Right back to Fried. And the throw pulls Goldschmidt off the bag. He's safe. Throw to third. He's safe. Brewers score another run, and it's 4-3. Couple of costly errors by the Yankees in this second inning.
Yeah, this inning is turning into not what the Yankees wanted. Another jam shot and then a throw off the base. Goldschmidt had to leave the base, not able to get back. So
he had more time than I think he thought he had when he hit that. And obviously so many of these Brewers run well, but he rushed his throw, and you can see how he's upset with himself. You got to understand who's running, gather yourself, and make a good throw. And he's an outstanding fielder.
There's William Contreras, struck out looking in the first, so the Brewers quickly get back 3 runs. Fried, a winner of 3 Gold Gloves. And he gets the E1 there. There's no RBI in the play, obviously. One and one. .38 pitches for Fried, 2 outs into the second. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Well, you can see when he makes his pitches where he wants. I mean, that first pitch was the sweeper down in the strike zone somewhat, and then up and in under the hands, even to a righty. Just ties him up.
And that extension side fastball's got cut to it, too, and it really ties you up.
Still 1-2. Carlos Rodon pitched very well. Opening day, 5 1/3 innings. Fried struggling here in the second after the Yankees gave him a 4-0 lead in the first on 4 solo home runs. Churio dancing off third. Runner goes from first in the dirt. It's a stolen base for Yelich.
Yeah, I know that as a third baseman, you're playing back there. But that used to drive me crazy as a manager because he gets a big lead. And you know you can't throw through, so you might as well run. I think at that time, that's probably when you try a pickoff, maybe 2 in a row to see if you can get Christian. It used to drive me crazy.
Swing and a miss, got him. Strange inning, though. Brewers score 3. Yankees make 2 errors. Milwaukee leads 2. For Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Today's submission, the first of the year, is of Jack and Avery. Jack celebrated his first opening day on Thursday, and Avery celebrated her 4th. What a way to celebrate a birthday with a Yankee win on a beautiful day at Yankee Stadium. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game the way we just did Jack and Avery.
Close friends of yours, Jack and Avery?
Very good kids. Here's Paul Goldschmidt again, leading off the second.
So one of the things that hitters like, especially if you're the same, is the first hitter to have a long bat so you can see all the pitches. Well, if you're Aaron Judge, what do you say to Paul Goldschmidt? What's he got?
He's got a home run ball.
He's got a home run ball.
I used to tell people all the time, you know, when I would take right field and I had Knobloch and Jeter hitting ahead of me, I had to sprint in there and get ready to hit because I felt like I was leading off because it's not like they were working counts. Jeter would swing at the first pitch all the time. Yeah, but the one thing is you were practicing your swing all the time in the outfield, so you were ready. You know what? You got to get mentally ready whenever you can. Sometimes you had to do it in right field between pitches.
Sometimes?
Let's bring in Meredith Marakovitz. Meredith, what did Paul think about leading off for the first time in his career?
Guys, I think you'll like this. 1,930 games, never did it before. I asked him if he likes the idea of him being the leadoff hitter, and he just kind of smiled at me, Michael, and said, I don't know, we'll see. Well, turned out pretty good in that first inning. Worked a walk here in the second inning. Something tells me Aaron Boone will not hesitate to put him there in the future. But one thing he did say to me, he's going to treat it like he's at any other spot in the order. He's not going to put too much pressure on himself. He's just going to go out there and play, and obviously it worked.
Home run and a walk. That's a good leadoff hitter. Here is Cody Bellinger. Pops it up on the left side. Capra makes the play. All right, it's time for the Mohegan Sun team scouting report.
Well, the kids are all right. Volpe, Wells, Rice, Dominguez all have started off pretty well, and they're going to need them to lengthen this lineup Delightful. I don't know about this comment. They had their 12th defensive runs saved and 12th and outs above average, and I thought the defense was going to get better with Belly going to center, Judge to right, Goldie. But that hasn't shown. And throwing and showing. There are a lot of pitchers here that didn't expect to be on this roster. Warren, Hedrick, Gomez, Yarbrough, and Carrasco. And here they are, and they're going to have to contribute.
Now, Joe's last scouting report there was an homage to the great Walt Frazier, throwing and showing, and the reason we did that today, it's Walt's 80th birthday. So happy birthday, Clyde.
Wow. Still wearing the silk.
Oh, yes. Huh? And we did The Kids Are All Right for You, a little music.
I was going to say that's a music title, right?
Yeah.
Delight. You had a chance to white that out. You didn't like it.
I know, but
a couple errors. That was the name of a group too. Delight.
Ground ball to third. 1. And it gets by Hoskins. But Judge will stay at first.
Turang had the shoulder issue at the end of spring training and was just DHing. And part of it was they weren't sure if they were going to play Joey Ortiz at short or they were going to play Bryce Turang. And the shortstop throw may have irritated his arm, and he had to sit down a little bit. And you can see that he doesn't get a lot on this throw. Good job, Goldie, getting into him a little bit. Had some shoulder issues.
Chisholm. Big swing. One and two.
Really good sweeper there, and you can see why Nestor can be so tough on left-handers. Left-handers really struggled with 204, 530 OPS. I mean, he dominated.
Yeah, you always got to realize he can change that arm angle too to a lefty. Good piece of hitting by Chisholm. Drops it into left center field. Aaron Judge off to the races. Will get into third. And Chisholm will just cruise into second again. I mean, defensively, you see a few things that shouldn't happen. Obviously, the Yankees' last inning and this play right here. I mean, this is just a little dunker to left field, 2 outs. Aaron Judge is in motion, so he's pretty much going to cruise into third base. This ball has to go to second to keep Chisholm at first base.
Yeah, Aaron Judge just knows that he's going to go to third right from the get-go, never slows down. And even a better job by Chaz Chisholm to recognize how high the throw. He missed the cutoff, and I could get into second.
Now, you see the shape of Chisholm's bat.
I do. It's got a big barrel on it.
Well, it's actually a little bit lower than the barrel. The Yankee front office, the analytics department, did a study on Anthony Volpe. And every single ball, it seemed like he hit on the label. He didn't hit any on the barrel. So they had bats made up where they moved a lot of the wood into the label, so the harder part of the bat is going to actually strike the ball.
That'd be a weird way to hit. Going up there expecting to get jammed and putting the meat of the bat towards the label.
It'd allow you to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, you wait all right. You take back some kindling if you wait too long.
But it is amazing what they could find out. I mean, they just every single. If you looked at all of his bats, all the marks from baseballs were right above the label, not on the barrel.
Well, it just goes to show you how hard bats are now too. Because when you used to hit the ball on the label, they weren't lasting.
No.
To have a bunch of marks.
Yeah.
Chisholm given a single. He moves to second on the throw to third. 3-2. High fly ball, left field. Churio back, track, wall, see ya. The bat worked. A 3-run home run. It is 7-3 Yankees.
Oh, Anthony Volpe, he went to right field the other day, left field today. Again, you just hope, if you're Aaron Boone, that some of your younger players get off to great starts to set up for a really, really solid year.
Two home runs in the early going for Anthony Volpe. And Austin Wells takes a strike. So the Yankees have struck 5 home runs against their former teammate, Nestor Cortes.
A little cutter didn't quite get there, Joe. And when it's up in the strike zone, you know, you can see it a little bit better. And if it doesn't have that sharp break at the end, Anthony Volpe's very quick to the ball inside. Pulls his hands in and kind of stays through it. Gets just enough to get it out of here.
Yeah, so he had thrown him a number of fastballs and cutters in, and as a hitter, you talk about when you throw fastballs in, you speed it up, speed him up. Well, now you throw the cutter in the same spot, and you got him sped up, and all of a sudden it's on his barrel, and it's dangerous. You often wonder why you don't try to backdoor something, because that front hip is probably leaking a little bit, and you run the cutter right into his barrel.
And there's a walk to Wells. What a rough afternoon for Nestor Cortes.
Yeah, this has just been nothing but a you know, an unbelievable nightmare start for Cortes since pitch 1. Finally the bullpen up. Another lefty.
There's Pablo Reyes. He walked in the first inning. So 4 walks and 5 home runs against Nestor Cortes.
You know, early season numbers can almost be hilarious at times. You know, you have a couple bad innings as Nestor has, and you look up at his ERA right now, it's 37.8. So you got a little ways to get it back down to respectability, huh?
Oh, quite a beginning for the Yankees. The Bronx Bombers on this Saturday afternoon. Anthony Volpe, the Yankees' 5th home run of the game. It's only 2 innings long. We go to the 3rd inning at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees lead 7-3 over Milwaukee. It's a day you could actually go swimming today.
Yeah, until you get in the river and it's freezing, and then you tell me how.
You're going to swim in the river?
There's people swimming in the river. They just might not be swimming much.
Here's Rhys Hoskins. There's a strike, 0-1.
Maybe off the air, I'll ask you to expand on that a little bit.
I better leave it right there.
Oh, you'll be next. 0-2.
Did you notice up here how much elbow room is up here now? You know, every year you go to school and you wonder, you know, how people's off season went, how their summer went. Michael walked in to skin and bones today, dropped all kinds of weight. We got room to spare up here now, Michael.
So it was my extra 30 pounds that was crowding you out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Audrey's actually back in the booth. She was out in the hall last year.
I'm glad I could help.
You did well.
That's the first one of the year.
One of many. Swing and a miss. Hoskins down on strikes. Let's check out FanDuel's live same game parlay.
Well, he's halfway there. Aaron Judge on top there with 2 home runs.
So is Max Fried.
Yeah.
There's Sal Frelick. And he gets plunked. Second batter hit by Max Fried.
All of a sudden, Joe, that sweeper has not been really sharp today. He leaves this one out, too. See, it's supposed to break over, and it's just kind of hanging.
Sweepy, no sweepy.
Yeah.
Here's Joey Ortiz. He had a chopper in front of the plate and then ran into the ball in fair territory, so he was automatically out. The put out goes to Austin Wells.
Never understood. As Mattingly used to tell me all the time, because I would ask him, you know, he really hit lefties well. And he said, I look at the breaking ball, the one right at me. And I just looked at that last pitch, so that one was right at him. What he can swing at it? But it worked for Cap.
I guess he never bailed out.
Golly.
No wonder his back hurt all the time.
One at me. I'm hitting the deck. I'm not waiting for it to break.
Two and one on Joey Ortiz.
Joe, you talked about Fried having 7 pitches, and you know, in this last inning and a half, I mean, he's starting to lose that breaking ball. You just got to go away from it for a while, or you just keep on working it because it's such an important pitch for him.
Well, you try to put it in situations where he won't get hurt, kind of like the first pitch to Sal Frelick, right? And sometimes you could change. Like the sweeper has struggled a little bit. Maybe go to the curveball a little bit more and see if you find it later. I mean, that's the thing about pitching. When you have so many different pitches, you're not going to have all 7 when you walk out of that bullpen. You're going to have to bring some of them along.
Let's take a look at the StatCast 3D by Google Cloud. This is his arsenal, Joe.
Well, 4-seamer curveball, that's his bread and butter, but his changeup has really, really improved. And if you look at, he's added the sweeper, he's added the cutter. Again, as a catcher, you don't have enough fingers, right? You start to run out, so that's why we need pitch comm.
Sounds like a broken back. Ground ball. Reyes goes to second. They just get the force.
Tell you what, I thought he was going to be safe there. It looked like he jammed himself a little bit the way he's limping off the field. He kind of slowed up when he slid. It kind of reminded me of Paul O'Neill when he used to slide. He wasn't very good at it.
There's some things you're not good at. This is a jam shot. Reyes takes a chance to get rid of it. Strong throw across the diamond, but does get the out. And again, I think you're right, Joey kind of jammed that back ankle as he.
How do you do that?
Either, sometimes you can actually scrape, that ankle bone when you slide. Just doesn't feel good. Wow, we talked about Fried's move, and there it was. Almost got Mitchell at first base.
Also on that side, it looked like he caught his knee under him as well.
Here's the thing, when you're a base stealer, a lot of times you don't slide feet first. You slide a lot head first. And that play, running into second, you're not going to slide head first. So that's something that's normal for base stealers. Yeah, we're going to watch the slide and see what Paul's talking about, how he kind of jams that right knee. I mean, it almost looks like he hurts his growing a little bit the way it stretches out. So, yeah. See if he makes it out to right field next inning.
There's a base hit to right field. Ortiz will stop at second.
A little fastball right here, but this is at 91. Had a little movement away, but something that you can catch up to, especially up in the strike zone a little bit.
Yeah, it could have been one of those cutters that don't cut. You know, take a little bit off, try to get it off the barrel, and if it doesn't cut, then not so good.
It was Vinny Capra. Now, Milwaukee has 3 runs in 2 innings. They're not all earned, obviously, but Fried usually keeps you off the board. Since 2020, there are only 3 pitchers in baseball with a sub-3 ERA and 90 games started. Fried, Burns, and Wheeler. Two and 0.
Yeah, he's just struggling to find his off-speed stuff. And he had it the first inning, and all of a sudden it's kind of left him. And you got to find it, because you can't just throw heaters for strikes to big league hitters. They're going to hurt you.
Yeah, that was really, I think, the first changeup that I've seen. He really tried to turn it over to keep the ball down. It seems like everything he's throwing now is kind of waist high, and that's not where he wants to be.
Lofted into center field. Grisham. And that'll do it. No runs a hit and 2 men left. We played 2.5. Yankees up by 4. Well, I'm excited to announce that the Legends of Baseball will be having their 3rd annual cruise on the Celebrity Cruises Silhouette. It's May 17, 2026 out of Port Liberty, New Jersey to the beautiful island of Bermuda. The Legends will include Chuck Knobloch, Mickey Rivers, Jesse Barfield, Ron Bloomberg, Charlie Hayes, Homer Bush, and many more. Staterooms are going fast for this exclusive and all-inclusive cruise. So be sure to visit legendsofbaseballcruise.com to get all the details.
You went on that once.
Yeah, it was really good. And the fans that go, they're such big baseball fans. It's really enjoyable. So if you turned on the game late, you have
a lot.
Yeah, you missed a lot. But the bottom line is that the Yankees had 3 home runs on the first 3 pitches of the game. And they had 4 home runs in the inning. So 3 home runs on the first 3 pitches, leading off a game. First time in Yankee history, and we just find out only the 10th time in Major League history that's ever happened. Dominguez. And the one that you saw today, it's the first time ever that it was the first 3 pitches of a game. That old saying that you can go to a baseball game and see something you've never seen before. You got that today?
Well, if you go back 15, 20 years, the reason you didn't see that because if the first 2 guys went deep, the third guy usually got one over his head or something just to get your attention. Huh?
And a lot of times the first 2 guys weren't home run hitters either.
Yeah, I mean, you had little, leadoff hitters just trying to start it off, unlike today.
Second walk to Dominguez. Audi Electric Moment. Experience a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local Tri-State Audi dealer today, and this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's 1. Boom, that's 2. The lefty Bellinger, and then Aaron Judge. Wow. People come to see Aaron Judge swing. Austin Wells going the other way, which is impressive against a lefty.
Well, Pat Murphy, the second-year manager of the Brewers, he has seen enough. Nestor Cortez really laboring out there, has a rough outing against his former team. He gives the ball to his manager. He'll depart. The Brewers will go to the bullpen. Yankees up. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Optimum Fiber. Get Optimum, the fastest fiber internet. Don't take slow for an answer. By Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And by Mohegan Sun. Something's always happening at Mohegan. During the offseason, the great Bob Uecker passed away. Longtime voice of the Milwaukee Brewers. And was an actor, had a hit comedy show, constantly on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. What an unbelievable guy, what an unbelievable ambassador to baseball, and a big loss for all of baseball, particularly the Brewers.
Must be in the front row. Right?
Yep.
They like all the different angles. They have 4 lefties in their bullpen. Kenning's more over the top. Hudson's from down below. This guy's kind of in between. Moved to the bullpen last year. Rule 5 from the Cardinals. So you got to make the team or you got to go back. And here he is. His first game in the big leagues. And there's been 5 homers in 3 innings on the opponents.
A little gunshot.
You want to bring me in here?
Line in the left field. It's a base hit for Grisham. Dominguez will go to third. Throw comes to second. Yankees playing the corners with nobody out.
A really good piece of hitting by Grisham. A line drive to left field. But, if you watch Dominguez, you just don't realize how fast he is. His stature, he doesn't look like it. But, boy, he gets, this isn't a given first to third. This is a hard line drive to left center field. And he easily just cruises into third base.
But you know what happened there? Jackson Churio learned his lesson. He tried to throw Judge out at third and allowed Jazz to move up. Not this time.
Yep.
So first and third, nobody out here in the third. Here's Goldschmidt, a home run and a walk. And a strike. See the numbers from last year, but the final 2 months of the season, he was closer to the player that everyone expects him to be. He struggled in the first 4 months of the season. Looked very good in spring training for the Yankees. He was 0 for 4 on opening day, but he hits a home run on the first pitch that he sees in the first inning. And it shouldn't be a surprise because that's his 32nd home run in 138 games against Milwaukee. Only Andrew McCutchen has more with 40.
I know a lot of people in Milwaukee were happy to see him move out of the National League Central.
There's certain players that just
kill you.
Yeah, they just beat up on certain teams, and that was one of them.
Ouch. That didn't sound good. Bases loaded as Goldschmidt gets hit.
Does he wear a pad on his hand, or this hit the elbow? It hit the hand. Just had like a little wrist guard there or something, and you see it almost ripped it off, but looking like it hit the forearm more than the hand, which is always a good thing.
So would you want to be on a team where the pitching coach's last name was Hook?
Yeah, like when he's on his way out there, you just walk off the mound.
The good thing is, though, the pitching coach usually doesn't take you out, but
yeah,
I just think it's such an appropriate name. He's done a really good job in Milwaukee, especially turning so many of their players that had marginal careers as relievers into really good relievers and getting the most out of them. Their bullpen was second in baseball last year. Outstanding bullpen. Felt so good about it, they allowed Devin Williams to be traded.
Devin Williams had a tightrope ninth inning on Thursday. Threw a lot of pitches. In all likelihood, they probably would stay away from using him today if it's a save situation. So I was talking to the Milwaukee broadcasters, and Devin struggled in the ninth inning, and the crowd started booing after his 17th pitch. And they told me 5 years in Milwaukee, he never got booed. So he's got to learn to have a thick skin playing in New York.
You did hear the final cheer when you got the last out, and that's what you go home with. But, I talked to him today in the locker room. He was so glad to get that first one under his belt. And it's odd throwing, again, like Nestor today, it's odd throwing against your ex-teammates.
Grounded. Foul ball. First base umpire, Ryan Blakeney, said foul ball. Right down the line, just missed going over the bag.
Well, if you watch Cody Bellinger, he kind of sways and starts to open that front hip. And, it's all a timing thing, but by opening up a little bit, it allows him to really get to the inside pitch really easy.
That's off of Thomas. Karam's out to the first baseman. It's a base hit for Bellinger. Scoring Dominguez. And the Yankees lead 8-3, and the bases remain loaded.
A lot of times, though, Paul, that will leave you susceptible to the ball, but he's got great plate coverage. He can keep his hands back and just kind of fillet the ball up the middle and the other way. That's exactly what he does here. I've been so impressed with his ability to change his approach to where he does not strike out now. I mean, it's in the teens. It used to be in the high 20s. He has made himself a contact hitter. Yes, he's taken away some of the power, but he's gotten a lot more base hits, and he's been productive.
You talk about a timing, and if you're going to sway and kind of open up, you have to do it at the proper time. If you do it early, then, you've given away that outside part of the plate where, he really stays in there with his hands in his shoulder, but the front hip kind of leaves, which, really opens him up for the inside pitch. But you saw on that swing right there, still able to cover the outside pitch.
Bases loaded for Aaron Judge. Home run in the first, reached on the fielder's choice and scored in the second. The athletic trainer of the Brewers came out to check on Thomas, see if he was okay after being hit by the comebacker. He remains in the game.
I know a lot has happened here, but you're looking really for a knockout punch here. I mean, you've got a 5-run lead, bases loaded, nobody out with the meat of your order up. So this is an opportunity for the Yankees to really, really take big command of this game.
Imagine being Connor Thomas, right?
Yeah.
Bases loaded, first game ever in the big leagues. I mean, it's one thing for this to happen in spring training, and you got to face Aaron Judge
with no wiggle room, bases loaded.
The wiggle room might be a walk.
Yeah.
High fly ball, left field. Chourio back, track, wall. See ya! A grand slam for Aaron Judge, and the Yankees are pouring it on.
Oh, Aaron Judge, he is so much fun, and you put him in big situations like you said, Joe. The wiggle room might have been giving up one with a walk instead of 4, and one swing of the bat. You go away 4 runs.
Who was it? Buck Showalter walked Barry Bonds with the base loaded. There was an open base, happened to be home.
Yeah.
But instead you give up 4. See some of these swings by Jazz. He's trying to get in on this party.
Yeah, he really does. And you see Aaron Judge, it didn't take long for the first curtain call of the year.
That's why you could never make anything in spring training. He had a tough spring training. And then you look at Jackson Chourio, almost hit 550 at bats, struck out 5 times opening day.
Third inning, the Yankees have 6 home runs. Still 1-2 on Chisholm.
Well, ball, you've seen a lot of balls up in the strike zone that these hitters are ready and beating them to the punch. And this ball will obviously, Aaron Judge, when he elevates it and hits it hard, it's gone.
Well, Judge won the MVP last year, finished with 58 home runs, and he had a very un-Judge-like March and April. Really got off to a terrible start, and here he is, the second game of the season. He has 2 home runs and 5 ribbies in this game alone. High drive, right field. There it goes. They keep on doing it. See ya. A home run for Chisholm. The 7th home run for the Yankees. A 13-3 lead.
Joe, you talked about it, trying to get in on the home run barrage. Well, he did. He got a ball right down the middle of the plate 442 feet later. Jazz Chisholm gets his first home run.
Connor Thomas, welcome to the major league moment, and no one warming in Milwaukee's bullpen.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this in a game.
Yeah, back in Little League.
Well, yeah. There was 10-run rule in that game.
Well, we got to get through the 5th.
I mean, I remember one time I was having what I thought was a poor day behind home plate. The pitchers were giving up a lot of runs. And I went to Mel Stoudemire, and he kept walking out to the mound. I went to Mel Stoudemire in the dugout, and I said, why don't you change my fingers? You're talking about the pitcher. Maybe it's me.
Volpe down on strikes. It's the first out of the inning.
Again, that's just a belt high fastball right there.
That's his first big league K. He's not throwing the ball in.
Wow.
You know, to amplify what a difference a year makes, we told you about the struggles that Judge had early last year. He had 6 RBIs in his first 15 games. He has 5 RBIs in 3 innings in Game 2 this year. Now, if he had a normal April, Paul,
Yeah.
he probably breaks his home run record.
Believe me, as a player, you can remember, I got off to a bad start last year, and that wears on you because you're fighting out of a hole all year. And sometimes, you bring that into the next year, and you don't want to get in that same spot again. And obviously, big double on opening day, and then a huge day so far today for Aaron Judge.
The 0-2, fouled away by Wells.
You have players that I believe can talk themselves into being, oh, I'm not a good hitter in April. I'm not a good hitter, the first 2 weeks of this season. Managing Aaron Judge the short time I did, he had so much belief in himself, even when other people didn't.
Yeah. Necessarily
Was his swing going to work at this level? He struggled when he first came up, and then he ended up being Rookie of the Year after not playing very much in 16 because he hurt his rib cage. But he has such a strong belief in himself. I don't think he'd ever talk himself into it.
Right field, Frelick coming on, makes the play to retire Wells. 2 outs.
Second time the Yankees will have batted around in the order in 3 innings.
Max Fried's probably thinking they do this all the time.
Yeah, this is kind of nice. You take the mound and you look up and you got 13 runs on the board.
I could win a lot of games here.
I say.
Elvis Peguero warming up.
Well, Michael, we're chasing history. They got 7 home runs so far. The team record is 8. And when did that happen, Michael?
They did it twice. June of 1939 at Philadelphia, and then July of 2007 against the White Sox at the stadium.
Michael, you're the only one that's seen both of those games. I didn't see any of them. Paul didn't see any of them. I guess one, Michael, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1939, Joe.
Yeah. You saw the old black and white from it. That's what he was talking about.
Up the middle, Terang is there, and he will get Reyes, and that'll do it. But the Yankees, they are smashing the baseball, especially that guy, Aaron Judge. A first inning home run and then a grand slam here in the 3rd. Yankees lead by 10. Well, stream every out-of-market game live or on demand, plus stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Tri-State Cadillac scoreboard. 13-10-2 for the Yankees. 7 home runs. 3-4-0 for Milwaukee. So Turang will lead off. It'll be 9-1-2 for Milwaukee against Max Fried. Milwaukee's one of just 5 teams of the 30 teams in Major League Baseball that has never won a World Series. Turang lofts one to Bellinger. 1 away.
I get 3 of those.
All right, give me them.
Seattle.
Yep. Seattle's the only team to never beat a World Series.
Tampa.
Yep.
The Rockies.
Yep.
No, I'm running out. I got
Milwaukee. And then there's 1 more. Yeah. You guys should be very familiar with this team.
Oh, yeah. They would have won it in 1998 till we boat raced them.
That's right, you boat raced them. The Padres are the 5th team.
You know, they had that such likable team in 1982. Harvey's Wallbangers,
right?
Gorman Thomas, and it just they ended up losing to St. Louis in the only World Series that they've been to.
Hit sharply and off of Reyes and into foul territory. Churio will go for second, and he's going to get himself a double.
Not much of a play on this. I mean, this ball was just hammered, kind of a short hop. You just hope you can knock it down and still have time, but it ricocheted out into left field off the forearm. Not a lot of time to react when the ball hit that hard at third base.
The other problem is it had so much hook on it, right? Your only chance is probably a drop step and backhand it, and then good luck.
Foul ball. 0-1 on Yelich. Yelich has walked and reached on a throwing error by Fried. Also has a stolen base.
He is so important to this lineup with Willy Adames going to San Francisco. I mean, it's hard to replace 112 RBIs, clutch guy, but Christian was having closer to his MVP season last year than some of these other seasons before he got hurt. So they need him to stay healthy and be extremely productive.
And he swings and misses through a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, it's just an outstanding pitch. The pitches that have beat him have been up. This one's up middle. There's been some up and in that have beat him. He has not been able to catch up to him. He's a really good low ball hitter. It's just an outstanding executed pitch.
And I think you're seeing that, you know, even late in the count, trying to get a strikeout, you're going to different pitchers. That's usually a curveball count or something breaking. I mean, that's
Sweeper.
A high fastball where he's kind of figured out that, you know, I don't have my best breaking ball today.
It's got to be a little bit difficult to DH too when you're hitting every hour.
You're telling me.
Some long innings. The Yankees have hit around twice already.
And they're going to use him more now that they got good corner outfielders. Yelich, to keep him healthy, you're going to use him in a DH role a lot, I assume.
Pat Murphy was talking to us on opening day about how I asked him, I said, well, how much are you going to DH him? And he said, I don't really have a number, but he takes a lot of pride in his left field, and he's actually improved his arm. One of the big knocks on him, he couldn't throw it all. But he said his arm is actually improved over last year, and he wants to play left, so he's going to play some left.
Reyes bobbles as Contreras reaches. Moving to third is Churio. We'll see how that scored.
It's going to be an error, but that ball just hit on the collar of the grass in the dirt and came up on Reyes. you see him try to read it into an easy hop, and then it kind of came up to him.
Well, when you get a lot of weak contact and topped ball, you know that you have to rush because Contreras runs okay, and he gets in between. Exactly what you talked about. He either had to come in a little bit further or stay back a little bit, and it ate him up. Tell you what, third base is such a tough position. In reading the baseball, the hops is so important.
Grounded up the middle. Volpe gets off his glove and trickles into center field for a base hit. Churios scores, moving to second. Contreras RBI single for Hoskins, and it's 13-4 Yankees.
Well, it's a day of the hitters. There's no doubt about it. I mean, everybody coming into the batter's box today seems to have a hot bat. This ball just off the end of the glove of Volpe. Not able to knock it down.
Yeah, he has to do that type of slide because if he lays all out, he's probably not going to get Rhys Hoskins at first. So that was his only chance. I think hitters like warm weather.
Oh, I mean, this is just you're stealing a day early in the year. I remember even in spring training, it's in the back of your mind. I mean, what's that first week in New York going to be like? Opening day was nice, beautiful today. The coming week might get a little ugly, but you know what? Playing in April, I always loved to open up in a dome or open up on the West Coast where, you know, you didn't have to worry about anything weather-wise.
Here's Sal Frelick. Yankees lead by 9, 13-4. They've pounded 7 home runs. Only the 5th time in their history they've done that. Frelick gets out of the way.
Doesn't seem like he likes Sal very much.
Plunked it. Well, that last one was a curveball, though.
Throwing him a sinker in. Cody Bellinger playing really, really shallow. I looked at his spray chart. He hit like 11 balls all year over the outfielder's head. 9 of them were to right field. Cody is way in left field. I actually think Trent is probably a little bit too deep. I talked about this on Thursday. People are going to think it's my soapbox. He is like 5 miles an hour below exit velocity than the average hitter. And you have a ground ball pitcher.
Three and 0. And a strike. Now Fried still trying to find it. He does not have his A stuff as the Yankees get the bullpen up. But the Yankee offense is certainly giving him some wiggle room. And there's a walk to load the bases. I know that the win stat, not a big deal anymore for teams. But for starters, it's a big deal. This guy doesn't want to see 7 home runs hit, 13 runs put on the board, and he's not going to be eligible to get a win. You have to pitch 5 innings to get that win. And he's got 76 pitches so far. Here's Ortiz. And a strike.
And the problem is, Michael, it hasn't been an easy 77 pitches.
No.
I mean, he had 1 30-pitch inning the second inning. This is a 20-pitch inning so far.
Popped up, going back. Chisholm, and an over-the-shoulder play to get out of a jam. Just Chisholm showing a lot of range and hauling it in, taking a base hit away from Ortiz. Smooth, confident. Final out. And the Brewers leave the bases loaded. The Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Tri-State Cadillac scoreboard. Yankees lead by 9, 13-4. Nice play by Jazz Chisholm to end the top of the inning. Jason Dominguez leads off. He has walked twice today. Count 1-0. That's the one thing people talk about Jazz, that he has great patience and why he would one day translate into leading off. And he will take a walk. For a young player, he will take his walks. Not too anxious at the plate.
Yeah, and his right-handed at bats. I know he has struggled in his career at this level, and even to a certain extent in the minor leagues. He only hit 185, but Aaron Boone was impressed with some of the adjustments. He wasn't loading up right-handed, and Jorge Posada was talking about it one day with Aaron. You know, we were all in the clubhouse talking. He's like, "You're exactly right, George," and he's started to load up, which I would think that would make him a better right-handed hitter. He would just go forward. Left-handed, he loads up really well. It's good to see.
Yeah, you see that kind of leg kick, and Joe's talking about loading up, is getting that weight on your backside where you can wait to see the ball and then drive it. If you start to drift toward the pitcher, you don't have much left power-wise.
Taking the pitch close, and the count 3-2. He was 0 for 3 on opening day, 2 walks today. Just missed the backdoor breaking ball. So now a full count on Dominguez leading off the 4th. Strike 3. Dominguez down looking. He thought it was his 3rd walk.
Well, took the off-speed pitch away just off the outside corner, and then very close pitch inside.
I don't think you can make a better pitch. I mean, look at this. The corner just nips that corner.
See, the catcher said he nipped it. You didn't think he nipped it.
No, I thought that nipped just off the corner.
You never thought a strike was a strike.
Well, every once in a while, I would just check. You know, is that on the corner? Just to make sure we, where the umpire is.
And you said it like that too, very calmly, right?
And I never got an answer. No, I was just off the corner. It was, oh yeah, right on the corner.
You put your hands on your hips, get frustrated. That's what I used to love. You put your hands on your hips. But you had a theory. The more you argued, the more you got.
Well,
they got used to it, and they never got mad at you.
I don't think it was an intentional thing, It just comes out.
You know who I think would really get along with you?
Who?
Danny Hurley. These guys
Hurley.
would really, you should hang together.
We had a blast up here in the booth.
He was great. Danny likes to argue with officials. UConn basketball coach Dan Hurley.
It'd been great if Paul was his assistant basketball coach.
Oh,
boy. You better be ready to go when the ball goes up, huh?
Three and 1 on Grisham. Struck out looking and singled and scored.
I like this timeout there because I think he thought he had ball 4, and you got to kind of gather your thoughts.
Yeah.
You think you're going to first base. You got to lock in. I think he would get another fastball down.
3 and 2. And there's the walk. A couple of pitches later. And that'll bring up Goldschmidt, and he kind of set the tone in the first inning.
Yeah, first time he's led off a game in his long career. Well, he led it off with a home run, too. Really got things going early.
Good catch by one of the lefties in the Milwaukee bullpen.
I didn't notice that.
You had a feeling, right? We've seen this off too often.
Goldschmidt, home run, walk, hit by pitch. 1-0.
I mean, he's only hit 130 home runs in like 135 games, 134 games against the Brewers. You get kind of used to it.
You know, we mentioned that, you know, first base for the Yankees kind of been a black hole the last couple of years in terms of production. So that home run in the first inning, first time in 67 games a Yankee first baseman had a home run. Last one was DJ LeMahieu, hit a grand slam on July 31st. Last first baseman home run.
Michael, I don't do a lot of games, but I have seen the last 2 home runs.
There you go. So it's you.
Yeah. Boy, were the players, the young players, so happy for DJ last year when he did that.
Now the record for the Yankees is 74 games from a first baseman not hitting a home run. That was in 1942 to 1943. Tommy Henrik hit the home run, and then Nick Etten hit it 74 games later. And this one is 67, and it's DJ to Goldschmidt. And that's in the live ball era since 1920. Now the Yankees have gotten production out of the leadoff spot. Wells a home run in the first inning on opening day. Goldschmidt today. That one is lofted down the right field line. It's a fair ball. It'll go into the corner. Grisham chugging to third. They're going to hold him up there. Goldschmidt gets himself a double. Quite a day for Goldschmidt.
Yeah, the leadoff home run that we just saw before this inning started, and then now turn this ball over, try to get movement down and away. Goldschmidt stays with it, just drives it to right field. How deep that ball gets. That ball's almost behind him, and that's the way a right-handed hitter can wait, and still use right field.
Well, the Brewers have to bring the infield in for Bellinger, second and third, 1 man out. That one's into left center field. That is going to be caught by Churio. Tagging and scoring is Grisham. And the Yankees have 14 runs to the Brewers 4. A sac fly for Bellinger.
Just another quality at bat by Bellinger. I mean, you want to elevate the ball, drive it somewhere. I mean, this could have been a 3-run double or at least a sacrifice fly.
So here's Judge, 2 home runs, 1 a grand slam, the other one solo, 5 ribbies. Cooking up special, something special with Hexclad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. First 27 games last year, see what he did. This year so far, you see what he's doing. High fly ball, center field. Mitchell back on the track, at the wall, see ya! 3 home runs for Aaron Judge. They've done it again. A record 8 home runs in 1 game by the Yankees, and it's just the 4th inning.
Kind of leaves you speechless.
Yeah, it seems like we've been through this before. I mean, again, you get first base open, and you give Aaron Judge something that he can just pound again. And he has such a great way of taking walks in that situation, but also being ready for that fastball. 3 home run game. Salute to you, Aaron Judge. What a day.
Just the 3rd Yankee team ever to have 8 home runs in a game. They did it back in '39 and in '07. They probably have 4 more at-bat innings to go, and Judge might have 2 more at-bats, 2 more chances, 3 more chances to get that 4th home run. Chisholm. Ortiz will put it away. But the Bronx Bombers are living up to their nickname, especially the reigning American League MVP. Sends another one into orbit. 3 home runs for Judge. T-Mobile. Redeem today at T-Mobile.com/MLB. 3 home runs for the captain. Pretty unbelievable day. 8 home runs for the Yankees. Audi scoreboard, they lead 16-4. And he's getting love from the right field fans and gives them some love back. Garrett Mitchell with a fly ball. Bellinger there. Now you might be sitting there wondering, well, what's the record for home runs in a game? It's 10 by the Blue Jays in 1987. So the Yankees have a chance.
10 home runs in a game.
Some angry pitchers on that game.
And I bet you there was a guy that went 0 for in the other lineup. Can you imagine that?
Always.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the first 4 innings. I wonder if that's ever been done before. 4-3, 6-3.
Sounds like a couple ground ball outs.
Yes.
That is his 81th pitch. He threw 76 on Sunday. I would think Aaron Boone would let him get close to 90. He's had to work pretty hard.
I think Aaron Boone would love to see him end on a positive note. Get some consecutive outs, make some good pitches.
Reyes. And a bad throw. And it goes into the seats. So that's another error for the Yankees. As Reyes picks up an E5. I'm not sure if they'll give him a hit before the E5.
Another ground ball that he's kind of caught in between, kind of rushes to throw, knowing it's going to be a close play at first, but just airmails Goldschmidt over there.
The problem with Max Fried is he gets so many of those top balls that take so long to get to the third base. And
Terang off the glove of Chisholm, and it dribbles into right field. Moving to third is Capra.
that I think that you have to think about playing your third baseman a little more shallow.
It's a good point. Nothing really has been hit hard the other way.
Especially against a team that runs really well. Now, if there's a bunch of slugs, you leave them back, knowing that you have time.
So an E5 and an E4. 4 errors by the Yankees in this game. Here's Churio. Yankees play back for the double play, first and third, 1 out. Does show you home runs and runs. They're the great deodorant. You don't smell the 4 errors right now.
You know what? I was just thinking that.
5 errors, by the way.
But you do realize if this is a close game that, you've probably given it away. 5 errors, extra outs. You can't do this day in and day out. Get them out of the way on the days you score 16. Right?
No, and the thing that I worry about, like, if it happens a couple times in a row and Max Fried starts, then he starts to pitch away from contact. And that's what he talked about. He learned to do it in Atlanta. It's pitch to contact because he could go much deeper into games. He got in trouble when he chased the strikeout. And you don't want him to start doing that.
He pitches the contact, and he does get ground balls. And what a good time to get a ground ball right here. Try to get out of this inning.
We talk about the 3 home runs for Judge, right? He's a 3-run home run away from a home run cycle.
Did Alex do that once?
I don't know if Alex ever had 4 home runs for the Yankees.
I think he had a solo, a 2-run, and a 3-run, and they were all off of Bartolo Colon.
Yep. Of the Angels, then.
Yeah, I was probably dumb and pulled him out of the game.
Joe's been taking his Prevagen, man. All these things are just off the top of his head.
2-2.
You know how that works, though. You can remember things far back. It's it's yesterday what happened. Wow.
You know Fried wants to get through this inning.
I'm not sure if Aaron will let him go past this hitter because
it's been a struggle.
Yeah, and it's 76 pitches his last start, and it's a long season.
Another slow roller, Fried. And a nice scoop there by Goldschmidt. A run scores. Capra crosses the plate. An RBI for Churio. And it's 16-5.
Joe, something, I mean, and the more you watch it, it's just, I mean, I think you really made a great point. Nothing hit hard from righties. Pull. You know, everything's topped, little ground balls, and, you know, they become tough plays, but after a good pitch.
Yelich swings and misses.
It becomes really frustrating, right, when you see all these little top balls. And CC, we used to play the third baseman closer to the line more than what the scouting report would tell you, just because so many people rolled over his changeup and pulled it down the line, or the slider down and in. And I said, okay, he's not your typical lefty with all those breaking balls that he throws down and in. We can't say you look at, you know, this team and this is what this guy does against lefties. CC's different.
Right.
So you got to change it a little bit.
CC threw out the first pitch today.
And played for both of these teams.
Right.
Oh, that run he had with Milwaukee. I mean, really.
Throwing every other day, it seemed like.
Took them to the playoffs after coming over from Cleveland and just really took that team on his shoulders.
And he will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this summer. That one is a base hit to right field. That's going to score Terang. Judge comes up throwing, fires it in. It's an RBI single for Yelich. And it's 16-6. And Max Fried, on a day where his team hits 8 home runs in 4 innings, is not going to be eligible to get a win.
Yeah, and the defense really struggled behind him today on some tough ground balls. And you give a team extra outs, you're usually not going to go very deep in the game.
So Fried departs. Yankees will go to the bullpen. Name That Yankee, brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. Let's see. Blue Jays, Yankees, and Orioles, 186.
Got it.
3.51 ERA, 5 All-Stars.
Got it.
I think I have it, too. That was my guess, yeah.
Sir.
So Max Fried could sue for lack of support for his defense, but his offense said, oh, wait a minute. Andres Gomez comes on for the Yanks. He will face Contreras.
What number was that? Name That Yankee. That was a 2?
That was a 2. They started off with an easy one.
That's right. This is our opening day. We're 1 for 1, Mike.
So there are 2 outs here in the 5th inning. So that means there's 26 outs so far in the game. 60 batters to get 26 outs. Just 2 of the runs earned because of the bad defense. Now we are switching up Name That Yankee a little bit this year. It's not necessarily a guy who also played for the other team. It's Name That Yankee. Could be anybody. Kind of opens up the trivia floodgate.
Did they run out of players?
They might have, yeah. Driven out to right field and deep. Judge back, turns, looks. It's going to be off the base of the wall. Yelich will go to third. Judge gets it in, holds Contreras to a single. Well, 20 hits so far between the two teams.
Again, belt high fastballs with a little movement are going to get hit hard.
Here's Rhys Hoskins.
Yoendris must have heard that they like to run. Make sure you hold the ball.
I was just going to say, where's the pitch clock out there? It seemed like it was there a minute.
Yeah. Get a little longer with the runner on. He took it right down to the wire.
Another slow roller. And that'll do it here in the 5th. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, 2 men left. We're halfway through. Yankees up by 10. Spend your Sunday afternoon with Yes as the Yankees and the Brewers wrap up this opening weekend series here in the Bronx. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Audi batting practice and the pregame. Then first pitch will be just after 1:30 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app.
Was that tiramisu in a helmet?
They do have that now at the stadium.
Wow.
It's a big item. Audi scoreboard 16-6. Yankees have 8 home runs.
Look at that. A little tiramisu in a helmet.
Are you thinking you deserve a little piece after 4.5 innings?
No, I'm thinking I'm going to dinner tonight with Frank and Mayor with a little Italian tasting, and it's probably going to be on the menu.
Elvis Peguero is a new pitcher.
Another one of their somewhat 7th inning guys, 6th inning guys having to come in a little bit early today. Probably needs a little bit work. Super sinker I got up to 97, 98, and a good slider. I wrote super sinker in the notes.
You know, it's hard to get the ball to sink when you throw that hard. It's amazing.
Volpe has a home run, his second in as many games. He's 1 for 3.
Well, a lot of times where a guy stands on the mound and he's on the far first base tells you what his ball's going to do.
Right.
It means it's going to run towards third base, and he needs that room to throw it for a strike.
Ground ball to third. Capra just gets Volpe. Time for today's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Giancarlo Stanton has begun swinging a bat, experiencing steady improvement. No timetable for a return. Right and left elbow tendons. He's had 3 PRP injections, but he is swinging a bat, and he's not just dry swing. He actually has been hitting a little bit under the stadium at the cages, so they expect him to be back at some point. When that is, they're not tipping their cap, but they tipping their hand, but they believe he's going to be back.
And Michael, he had those final PRPs. After that, it seemed like that was what really got him moving in the right direction. But with one thing with Giancarlo Stanton, they want to make sure he's 100% right before they bring him back. We know how valuable he is, especially in the postseason. There's also other news on the injury front. Ian Hamilton could be joining the team soon. He's starting a rehab assignment today, probably a couple outings for him. Aaron Boone said he expects him back as soon as he is eligible to come off that IL.
Throwing a slider with that kind of depth up to 90, 91.
Yeah, with that sinker,
I'm glad you're sitting here now.
It's much easier to hit it up here than it is down there, believe me.
Two and one. The tone was set in the first inning. Yankees, the first 3 pitches that they saw, all hit out for home runs. Goldschmidt, Bellinger, and Judge. Lofted to left field by Wells. Chourio is there, puts it away. So we've mentioned that Judge has 3 home runs. Do you think there have been more 4 home run games in the majors than perfect games? What do you think is more?
I think there's more perfect games.
You would be correct. 24 perfect games, 18 games with 4 home runs from one batter. And it's only been done one time in Yankee history, and that was in 1932. Lou Gehrig did it at Shibe Park against the Philadelphia A's. Judge already has 7 RBIs, which is a career high for him in a game.
You know, I was always a good multiple choice guy. I like your questions. I was 50-50 there. You know?
That's why you did so well on the SAT.
Yes. I tell you what, I came in here today. I saw you working. I said, Joe's been working since last January for this game. I felt a little underprepared up here.
Yeah, but the problem with the SAT, it was like 25% chance.
Oh, boy.
That was good enough to get you into Florida, right?
Well, yeah, I remember taking it, but then I remember when they told me that, you know, we want you to play baseball, then I didn't think my SAT score was as important as it could have been, you know?
Bet you Neville had a good SAT.
Much better than mine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to brag. She wins at a lot of things in life.
You were going to U of F?
No, South Florida. South Florida. Yeah, Robin Roberts was coaching down there. Anywhere where it was sunny and warm. Coming from Columbus, Ohio, where you play 12 games a year in the spring and it's freezing. I wanted to go somewhere warm.
Well, for the first time today, the Brewers keep the Yankees off the board. The Yankees still lead by 10. Thank you, Bob. Montefiore Einstein scoreboard 16-6 Yankees as we go to the 6th. And Gomez with a breaking ball that doesn't break, 1-0. It'll be Frelick, Ortiz, and Mitchell. We told you the Yankees as a team have 8 home runs today. Judge has 3. The Major League record is 10 home runs set by the Blue Jays. But how about this statistical quirk? 31 teams have hit 8 home runs in a game. One team hit 9 home runs, and one team hit 10. So 8 seems to be.
Once you get past 8, you've done something.
Yes.
So, okay, the one that hit 10, the Toronto Blue Jays, they also hit 9. So is that the same team?
No, the Reds did it in 1999 in a 22-3 win at Philadelphia.
What year? 90? Oh, you weren't
99. He was doing the damage here.
You're pulling in the wrong. You were talking about the wrong fingers. You've been putting in the wrong pitchers too.
Yeah. Sure, a lot of people thought I did that.
Take a little trip around the majors, shall we? Misner with a walk-off home run in the Rays' first game at Steinbrenner Field. Sellout crowd, so Cameron goes yard. Tyler O'Neill home run in 6 straight opening day games. That's the Major League record. And Mookie Betts, there was so much fear. He had lost so much weight so quickly. They had a walk-off 3-run home run in the 10th against Detroit. That was the 2nd home run of the game.
He got really emotional. I mean, he lost 18 pounds.
Yeah.
He didn't have 18 pounds to lose.
No, he's not a huge guy, but boy, can he play.
Bellinger calls off Volpe to retire Ortiz.
He got down to like the 150s, the high 150s.
That's like junior high weight. Huh? I read the other day in the notes, Michael, that you're talking about home runs on opening day. The only player ever, back-to-back years, with 2 home runs. Joe Torre. I'm like, wow, what a way to start the year. Back-to-back years, 2 home runs on opening day.
Was that his MVP season?
That I don't know.
Yeah, the question is, where were you reading the notes?
I just read notes. I don't know where they came from. Because I wasn't coming to the ballpark. Yeah, I didn't have the official notes. I think I had 1 home run, maybe 2 on opening day. You have a home run opening day?
I didn't hit home runs. I don't think so.
Well, you had a few in your career. Did you ever throw one in on opening day?
Yeah, I think opening day of T-ball.
T-ball. Yeah.
You didn't even get one out in Colorado?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I was happy if I got a hit.
Oh, wasn't that important? Opening day? You know what? I used to play mind games, too. It's like, you know what? If I get a hit my first at bat of the year, I'm going to have a great year. And then, you strike out the first time up. It's like, if I get a hit in this game, I'm going to have a great year. You just start playing games with yourself mentally.
Well, it's a game that just you build it up for a long time. And now you get just back in the grind. We're playing every day. But you put way too much importance on it. If you have an 0 for in another day, it doesn't seem to be such a big deal. But then you have a lot of times opening day, and you got to sit on that 0 for.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah, you think Churio wanted to get out and have a day off on Friday after 5 strikeouts opening day? I don't think so. Good pitch right there.
Yes, is thinking about a reality series, Mind Games with Paul O'Neill, coming up. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Peguero deals to Dominguez. Lofts it to left center. Churio is there. One away.
I just remember on days like today, I'd be catching and come on, be in a game like this and sit next to Zim when I come in after the inning. He would say, "Boy, you got this game moving right along, don't you?"
Yeah, Zim always had the right thing to say.
Yeah, he did. It could make you laugh.
Oh, and 1 on Grisham. Grisham 1 for 2 with a walk. 2 runs scored. Ground ball. Turang bobbles again, and Grisham will reach. Turang, a Gold Glove winning second baseman. In fact, a Platinum Glove winner. Boots one there.
Interesting enough, their 2 Gold Glove winners both have an error already this year. Sal Frelick made one the other day on a ball off the wall, and the Turang makes this one. It comes up, hits him in the heel a little bit. He kicks it once, can't quite get to it. Trent just runs too quickly for that to be an out.
It was that second little dive out of it came out of his glove.
He almost had it.
Ground ball. Ortiz will get Goldschmidt as Grisham moves to second. So Goldschmidt retired for the first time today. And that brings up Bellinger. Hedrick warming for the Yanks. They're starting the season with 3 lefties in the bullpen. Bellinger 3 ribbies in this game. Home run. An RBI single off the pitcher, and then a sac fly. 2 for 3.
It was interesting. He was talking about what to do in the roll call. Talked to his father, Clay. Yeah.
I saw Clay after the opener on Thursday. You could have read by his grin. He was so happy his son was playing for the Yankees.
Unbelievable. So I went down to the locker room today, and Stevie Donahue says, I've got a present for you. I said, okay. And I've talked numerous times about my kids used to, play in the playroom with Cody Bellinger. And so they've redone the playroom in Yankee Stadium, and they took down some of the pictures. And one of the pictures was me and my son Andy when he was about, 3. And now he's, 35, 36. But I'm going to take that one home. It's a really, really cool thing that the Yankees do.
The amazing thing is Andy got older. You look the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
4K says different.
This 1K says no.
That's quick. I like that.
Three-two count on Bellinger. Judge is on deck. Base hit, right field. Grisham rounds third. He's coming home. The throw is cut off. Going to second is Bellinger. He'll get in, and the Yankees lead 17-6, and that'll bring up Judge.
Oh, Cody Bellinger has had tremendous at-bats today. Just another good at-bat, driving in another run, and then a good read on a high cutoff throw. Just cruises into second base.
Yeah, something you don't talk a lot about Cody Bellinger, but watching him the last 2 years, he's a really, really good base runner. Understands when goes first and third, and here we go. Is this number 4?
3 home runs for Judge, 7 ribbies. Only 18 4-home run games in Major League history. The last one, J.D. Martinez did it. Arizona at the Dodgers. That was in 2017. The only Yankee to do it, Lou Gehrig, in 1932.
Do you remember how hard it used to be able to hit it out at Dodger Ballpark, too?
Oh, when it got cool at night? Yeah.
I think that he did it there.
2-0 on Judge. High fly ball, right field. Frelick back. He's on the track, and it's going to be off the wall. Bellinger scores. Judge gets himself an RBI double, and the Yankees lead 18-6. That close to making history.
Wow, what a day for Aaron Judge. And, you know, the reason Aaron Judge is getting pitches to hit in this situation, first base open, is because it was 17-6 at the time. Now it's 18-6. Frelick, again, kind of not knowing where he is in a short porch in right field. Not able to get back. But off the bat, anytime the ball is airborne, you see the stands and the fans. Did he get 4? Well, he's got 3 with a double. It's a pretty good day.
And betters his career high with 8 runs batted in for the game. 9 on the season in 2 games.
Now, these are the little things that used to irritate teams. You know, when you're getting beat 18-6, you hate to see guys kind of overswinging, landing on their back knee. You know, don't wake up, people.
Popped up.
Well, when I saw that, I thought about what you said. You know, very seldom did you see back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would hit the third guy.
In the back.
Yeah. And when he took that swing, I mean, the game has changed, and Major League Baseball has done a really good job of keeping pitchers from intentionally hitting players.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have happened. It happened to me when I was with the Rockies. And I told the pitcher I was the only guy you could get out.
I had nothing to do with those home runs.
Up the middle and caught by Ortiz to end the inning. Yankees add 2 more runs. They're up by 12. Time for PNC Bank's slow moments. Even in slow motion, this is impressive, Paul.
Yeah, when you watch Aaron Judge and his swings, they are so, you just think it's the same thing over and over again. And it's your ability as a hitter to put yourself in the same spot every time. Well, today he's been in a great spot. 3 home runs and a double. Just what you expect when you come to Yankee Stadium as a young kid to watch Aaron Judge, huh?
Ford scoreboard 18-6. Brent Hedrick comes in. Impressed the Yankees in spring training with the injuries. There were spots open in the bullpen, and so he's the third lefty in the pen. Third pitcher used by the Yankees as he's facing Oliver Dunn. Hedrick's pitched in the big leagues for Minnesota in 23 and 24. 27 years old. He was picked up off waivers from Minnesota on February 11th. He's from a family of professional drag racers. His parents, his older sister, his aunts, and his uncles.
Can't say I've ever met someone that was a drag racer.
Drag racer. Yeah.
Tell you what, he was a really impressive one of his last outings in spring training where he got as high as 98. And it seemed like when he got ahead, he added. It was impressive.
So Dunn goes down on strikes. Time to get the answer to the Name That Yankee quiz today, Paul. Why don't you give it?
Well, it's got to be Jimmy Key, and he was a big part of our pitching rotation. I think if I could pick one guy that would have been a great pitching coach, it would have been Jimmy Key. He knew how to get big outs. I think he helped Andy Pettitte a lot when Andy Pettitte was just coming up to the major leagues. And he was the guy at the back of the plane that would get Boggs going every single time. You know, we had Charlie Hayes that would get Cecil Fielder going, but you had Jimmy Key back there just annoying Boggs to the point where you'd hear it before the flight was over.
Okay, I bring up a quick story. Do you remember the time that Jimmy and Boggsy went turkey hunting, and Jimmy took Boggsy turkey hunting? Do you remember that? And
vaguely.
They didn't see one turkey, and Boggsy was kind of embarrassing him, yelling at him in the clubhouse about it. And the next day, Jimmy brought in 2 frozen turkeys and threw them in his locker and said, "That's your turkey."
Yeah, exactly. That was Jimmy Key.
Joe, I mean, if you were in the Bird family, you'd stay away from Boggs.
Yeah.
It's only 8.
Yeah. It's a good point, Michael.
Two and 2 on Bryce Terang. Yankees up 18-6. We going with 6 field goals, Paul, or something?
Yeah, this is kind of like a Giants and a Packers game, huh?
Well, last year I don't think the Giants were putting up 18.
A big day for them. Boy, speaking of the Packers, well, when we used to play in that old county stadium where Milwaukee used to play before Miller Field, it just that was, I didn't even realize. There's Jimmy Key.
This is him in Game 6. Everybody talks about Joe's triple, but Jimmy Key was on the mound and pitched brilliantly in that World Series clinching game.
You know what else happened that day for him? He got engaged.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
See that little kid holding that sign there?
Yeah.
He's now 35 years old.
Believe me, I know all about it, because that one that I brought from the playroom today, that little kid I'm holding in the field, he's 35 or 36.
I hope you're doing well. I hope you're watching. Now here's the picture that Paul is talking about. I don't know if we could get a shot of it, but I mean, that goes right up in the office at home, I guess.
Absolutely. Look at that. That little dude right there. Not that dude. He's gotten old and ugly. That little dude right there grew up. He's 36 years old now.
Amazing.
Where's time fly, Michael?
It goes too fast. Fly ball right field. Judge back, and Churio retired as that ball kept carrying, but Milwaukee goes down in order. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's all Yankees, but we're going to stay right here as they honor America in New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise rise and remove your caps and direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. United States Navy Seaman Michael Darder from Paterson, New Jersey, who served in the Korean War. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Well, thank you, guys. Bottom of the seventh inning. You see the summary, 18-14-5, leading 6-8-1. 8 home runs ties the franchise record. Third time they've done it. Major league record is 10 home runs back in 1987 by the Blue Jays. Anthony Volpe leads off against Chad Patrick, the new pitcher. What he did in AAA, this is his major league debut.
It was the IL Pitcher of the Year. Those numbers, 14-1, that'll do it for you.
Well, earlier, Connor Thomas made his major league debut. Didn't go well. And now Chad Patrick. And there's ball 4 as Anthony Volpe works a walk. Well, tickets for all 2025 Yankees home games are on sale at Yankees.com. This season's home schedule includes some great promotional giveaways and is highlighted by interleague games against the Giants, the Cubs, and the Phillies, as well as the annual Subway Series games against the Mets. For more information and get your 2025 Yankees tickets, just visit Yankees.com today. J.C. Ascara is going to make his major league debut. What a long, strange trip it's been. Bounced around, independent league, released, Uber driver, and here he is. He made the Yankees out of spring training, his first big league at bat.
And Michael, I spoke to him for the BP show earlier today, and I asked him what it is going to be like for him when his number is called, and he said he will be ready. He has always been ready. I don't know if you guys saw the thing. He had a little appearance on the Today Show yesterday with his mom talking about his story, and he said more than anything, he wants to tell it as much as possible just because he wants to be an inspiration for other people who are thinking about giving up to keep going, keep persevering. Your dream could come true as well.
What a wonderful story, and a really, really nice guy. And he hung in there, and here he is in the big leagues as he swings and misses and goes down on strikes.
And Michael, he and Nestor Cortez did a nice little jersey exchange prior to opening day, which was kind of cool. Two guys from the same hometown, knew each other growing up. I asked him what Nestor was like in high school, and he said he was nasty.
Now Oswald Peraza is going to pinch hit for Pablo Reyes. So that means that all the Yankee position players have gotten into a game this year.
I think that's really important too. You know, the guys don't sit for a week before their first game, that you can get them out there. They played Monday and Tuesday at the end of spring training, so you're going 4 days without a bat. Now you're in here, and now you feel better. How happy are you right now?
Why is that?
You see what's sitting next to you?
Oh, I know. They just, I mean, they sent up the samples for the tiramisu here. I don't know. Mom said I'm not allowed to eat dessert before I eat dinner, though, right?
You could have 1 spoon. This is a very popular item here at the stadium.
I like the looks of it.
I mean, you do realize, Joe, the power of O'Neill. I mean, I wish he'd like talk about Audi and send cars up here. This guy talks about tiramisu. It's here.
You know, I've talked about a lot of cars. We haven't had one come up yet, right?
It'd be a little hard getting it in here, don't you think?
I could at least park it in the tunnel or something.
Yeah, right in the loading dock. Drilled deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. The Yankees' 9th home run of the day. They did it again.
This is what I saw when he broke in the major leagues years ago, Joe. It's like, this guy has power. I mean, he has the ability to drive the ball out. I expected huge things. Maybe this is his time, because you keep waiting for him to really take the baton and take, you know, to the next level and be an everyday guy.
Yeah, there were questions about him, whether he was going to make the team or not, and there were some injuries, and he was out of options, and he gets a breaking ball that's about thigh high. Really struggled in spring training, and I think there were questions about him. And I think so many times when young players come into spring training and they know they have a chance to make the team and have an impact, they put so much pressure.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have a really tough spring training and you're on the team, and maybe you relax a little bit and say, okay.
Dominguez with a single. That's his first hit of the season.
Had a very good AAA season last year. I mean, this is a hanger, and you know, when you hang it, they bang it, right? I mean, that's what happens. And I mean, he's had power in AAA. He's played in AAA for a number of years. So young to be called up to that level. I mean, that's a really good swing into your backside, using your legs. And hopefully he can relax and his talent can come out.
Well, the Yankees now stand with the Reds as the only teams in baseball history that have 9 home runs in a game, and they're 1 home run away from the all-time record of 10 set by the Blue Jays. And Peraza's home run also guarantees that Judge's spot is going to come up.
So you're setting the stage early. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Here's Trent Grisham. Dominguez is on first. They're not holding him. The Yankees lead by 14, 20-6.
Darn extra point that they missed. I hope it doesn't come back to haunt them.
I wonder if they know in the dugout if the record is 10.
I would think no.
You don't think so?
There's certain things that don't come in. I mean, you've hit a lot of home runs. I mean, you're putting a beating on somebody, but I don't know that you ever know records like that, huh?
The only thing is if someone's said, what's the record? Like someone that's not really a pitcher's down there, and someone calls up to the press box and asks, that sort of thing.
Now, they had the game on in the clubhouse, so somebody's heard us say that. I wonder if it's been relayed to the players.
And the trainers will go back and forth.
Yep.
I don't know, Michael. You think to keep the volume up? That might just turn us off. Just watch the play-by-play.
Paul, I've turned a lot of people off in my life, so it could be.
You got all kind of shows, though. People like to hear you.
1-2 on Grisham. Judge sitting on 3 home runs. He has 8 runs batted in, which is a career high for him. Popped up. Ortiz makes the play. That's out number 2. Oswaldo Cabrera is going to pinch hit for Paul Goldschmidt. Now, Aaron Boone being a third-generation Boone in baseball, he knows the record is 4 home runs in a game, so he's not going to lift Judge with 1 at bat to go. I'm not sure if he knows about the 10 home runs. So the Yankees with a new franchise record, 9 home runs in a game. Line to right field. Frelick is there, and that'll do it. So we'll wait till next inning for Judge to get another try. Another home run for the Yanks, 2 more runs. Today, last season, though, was magical. The Bronx Lotus, 223 OPS plus. Highest all-time for a right-handed batter in a single season. How about the slug and 700 or more plate appearances? 6th player in a single season to do that. Pretty special ones that did it as well. One of 3 players all time to lead the majors in home runs, ribbies, WAR, slugging, OPS, and walks. Babe Ruth did it 3 times, and Ted Williams. The best of us indeed. 2nd-time MVP. Hyundai scoreboard 20-6. With his day today, he's telling last year to hold my beer.
He's off to a decent start here in game 2. No doubt about it.
There's Carlos Carrasco. He's making his Yankee debut. He's the Yankees' 5th starter. But with an off day on Monday, they're getting him into a game right now. Isaac Collins pinch hitting. See the changes for the Yanks. Look at the names on that streaming service. Wow. Better call Paul. K's Anatomy. Nobody's watching that.
Oh. I was just looking around the stadium, Michael, because I'm always, as we look at these new big hit streaming TV shows at the bottom of the screen, I think, Reebok's new, right? The Reebok sign out there in right center? Gotham Sports app, obviously that's new. Amtrak, I think that's new too.
No, I think Amtrak's been out there.
Some of the standbys are still here. They're big Delta sign up there.
See what he's doing, Paul? He's trying to get sneakers, trying to get train rides, trying to get a plane ride on Delta.
For one thing, I don't know what a sneaker is. We wore tennis shoes. I don't know what.
Well, in New York, we wore sneakers.
All right. Well, you drank water too. Huh?
I can't believe you didn't mention Bank of America. You're trying to get a little money.
You get gift certificates there.
Oh, we love them, right?
Yes. They were behind home plate and out in left field.
Eric Haas pinch hitting for Contreras. Some people were surprised that Carrasco pitched as well as he did in spring training. His velocity was up from last year. He had a rough season last year in Cleveland. Veteran, knows how to pitch, has an arsenal of pitches, and again with the height and velocity a little bit better. That one is looped into right field. It's a base hit in front of Judge. Pinch hit single for Haas. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees, and by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. There's Jake Bowers, the pinch hit for Reese Hoskins.
It's turning into a spring training game. Both managers emptying the benches here. That's really screwing up your scorecard over there.
Good Lord. What's happening with your scorecard?
I haven't found it yet. It's a little blank right here.
Michael dug into the tiramisu.
It was good.
Yes, he did.
2 spoons. I don't want to put the weight back on. I just had 2 spoons.
Well, that's just a taster then.
Yeah. Coming up, bottom of the 8th, Bellinger, Judge, and Chisholm. Judge knocking on the door of history. One and 2.
You say you keep your scorecards, right?
This one I'll keep.
Yeah.
I don't keep all of them anymore, but this one I'll keep.
I mean, you have some from years and years and years ago.
The perfect games and the no-hitters.
Oh, yeah.
That one is drilled into right center field. That's going to be in there and go all the way to the wall. Haas is going to go to third. They're going to wave him home. It's a pinch hit RBI double for Bowers. And now it's 20-7 Yankees.
two good at-bats he's had. Pinch hitting, he had a good one on opening day where he walked off of Devin Williams, and then you see this double that he lines in the corner. Fastball that's up in the zone. I mean, that's been what we've talked about all day, and that's why there's so many runs. I mean, I think hitters too are adjusting to pitches up, fastballs up, because they practice like so much against velocity up in the zone off these new machines that they have, and everybody's trying to do it.
Well, if you remember, 2-3 years ago, that was the pitch everybody was going to, because everybody wanted the slide uppercut, and that was kind of a way to get a strikeout where, hitters are going to adjust to what pitchers are trying to do to them.
One and one on Sal Frelick. Infield single, hit by a pitch, walked, and grounded to second. Bowers on second with one out. Nice change up there by the man they call Cookie Carrasco.
There's two Cookies in the clubhouse. Stevie Donahue, longtime trainer, is Cookie too. I remember trying to chart Carrasco many years ago when I was managing, and I would study all the pitches. You couldn't sometimes tell whether it was a slider or a changeup, and no one really knew, because a lot of them times they have the same action.
I always thought good changeups that kind of resembled the spin of a two-seam fastball, those are the ones that were really hard to hit, because you couldn't tell the speed, but you could tell the spin, and obviously that's how you kind of decide what pitch it is or not. But if it has the same spin and you've just taken 7 or 8 miles an hour off of it, almost impossible to hit.
So Cabrera with the put out at first, 2 men down. Moving to third is Bowers. Here's Joey Ortiz. And a strike. Rip foul into the second deck. Yankees lead 20-7, 20-16-5, 7-10-1 for Milwaukee. Now, if you have a friend who's a baseball fan that might not be watching the game, call that friend, text that friend. You have a chance to see history in the bottom of the inning. Swing and a miss. Aaron Judge, 3 home runs. Looking for a Major League record 4. Stay tuned. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Untuck It. Find the perfect fit today at untuckit.com or more than 80 stores worldwide. And by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. Bellinger, Judge, and Chisholm. And they're going to face a position player. Jake Bauers is on the mound, trying to keep the Yankees from a major league tying 10 home runs in a game, and Judge from 4 home runs in a game. Bauers deals outside.
What's he got, Michael?
I think a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Little cutter at 65. Did you like facing position players?
No, hated it. Because, you know, it's just, you're supposed to crush everybody, right? That's not really a pitcher, but, you know, it just goes to show you, even in batting practice, you know, you pop balls up, as Cody Bellinger did right there. But this is the at-bat we've been waiting for. And, you know, with a position player on the mound, you know he's not going to pitch around him.
Last time up, he hit a ball off the wall for a double and an RBI. He has 3 home runs. Only 18 players in baseball history have 4 in a game. Drilled deep to left field, but that is going to stay in the park and caught by Chourio. Little top spin on that, and Chourio ran it down.
Well, a little off the end of the bat, just enough, because the velocity was probably high 70s. Oh, it's actually a breaking ball. Wow.
That might have been in the 50s, that breaking ball.
55 that pitch was.
Well, that's speed limit.
That's right. Speed limit on the hutch. You can't even go on 95 going 55. Huh?
Oh, Chisholm gets plunked.
I tell you what, Jake Bauers was going to have a lot to talk about if he went 1-2-3 today.
Yes.
Right in the middle of the order, but now that's not going to happen.
You can see as a position player, it is so weird to be on the mound.
Well, he's got some experience at this.
Did you ever do this?
Yeah. I almost threw my arm out.
Where were you?
In Atlanta. I was with the Reds. Struck out 2 people in the first inning, and then after that, I went downhill. I went from like 93 to 50. I had nothing left.
You had pitched as a kid, right?
Oh, all through high school.
Yeah.
When I was drafted, I thought I was a pitcher.
3-0 on Volpe. There's a strike from Bauers. Chisholm's at first with 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 8th, 20-7. Yankees lead. Now 3-2. And Volpe works a walk. And that brings up J.C. Escara. How about this, Joe? They gave J.C. your number.
That's great.
Yeah, 25.
Great.
Catcher to catcher.
Yeah.
Your player number.
I think you can really appreciate what this young man has been through. A couple of years in independent ball, and it's really a cool story. You talked about it already, but man, seeing his mother get emotional in the video. I tell you what, he's lost it, Bauers.
Yeah, he's running out of bullets out there.
He got 2 quick outs, 3 pitches.
Rip foul. Also a nice moment. He came to the ballpark on Thursday in an Uber. And he used to drive an Uber to try to make ends meet.
I mean, you wouldn't have any problem as a young player getting your first hit off a position player. Nobody knows, right?
Because when it's on the back of that bubble one card, nobody knows.
Dunn makes the play, and how about that? Jake Bauers stops the Yankees and Aaron Judge from making history. take slow for an answer replay. One thing we're going to see this year, Paul, this is a much more athletic team. They are going to go first and third a lot. We've seen it today.
Well, it makes a big difference in the runs that you score. And again, you want the mentality as a base runner to always take that extra base. Obviously, the defense, they're much improved. Didn't show up today, but the base running and the speed and the way the Yankees are going to go about playing every single day, I think it's going to be exciting to watch.
Carlos Carrasco trying to get the final 3 outs as he deals outside to Garrett Mitchell. Oswaldo Cabrera moves to right field to take over for Judge. Ben Rice will play first base in place of Cabrera, so every Yankee position player got into the game. That one is lined over the leaping try of Volpe, a base hit for Garrett Mitchell. Well, fans, stay tuned after the final out for today's WB Mason Yankees postgame as Bob Jack and John Flaherty are standing by in the studio with highlights and analysis. Of course, Meredith Morakovitz gets player interviews in the clubhouse. We'll hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. That's all coming up on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. The kind of information we're going to give out today, Paul. You ready? The Yankees have never won a game in their illustrious history by a score of 20-7. Fly ball left field off the bat of Dunn. Bellinger puts it away. But we looked it up. The Giants have 4 such wins. The New York Football Giants have 4 such wins. The last time they did it, they won 20-7, 1997 at the Cowboys. And the Jets also have 4 by that score. Last time was in 2015 at the Colts.
2015 at the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
There was a good game, the Jets and the Colts in the Super Bowl. Joe Willie, right?
That's right. But that was the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah, that's one I remember, though.
You must have been 6 then.
That's all right. I was a big football fan, though.
You did take your Prevagen today, didn't you?
Now one is driven out into right center field. On the run is Cabrera, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run, so it's not going to be 20-7. It's going to be 20-9 at least as Turang with a 2-run home run.
Well, it's not the outing Carrasco's looking for, trying to tune it up, get ready. But this ball, you see a little movement and just waist high. Ends up in the bullpen.
Well, it looked like he was trying to throw that front hip sinker where he started off the plate and ends up on the inside, but it had plate the whole time. Turang recognized it, crushed it.
Yeah, that is a 2-seamer. You see a little movement, but that ball's got to end up on the inside corner, not start on the inside corner and end up in the middle of the plate.
Oh, 2 on Churio.
You know, had a tough day today is at home plate. I mean, it's been stepped on a lot today. You know that?
You know, I don't think I've ever heard that.
Just saying.
Danny Cunningham, the great grounds crew, he have a tough day because he has to fill in all those holes.
That's right.
A lot of traffic in that batter's box.
Grounded. Volpe. And the Yankees are an out away from their second win. Upcoming schedule brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. We're back at it again tomorrow at 1:35 right here on Yes. Monday's an off day, then 3 games against the Diamondbacks. 7:05 on Tuesday on Yes, then on Prime at 7:05 Wednesday, and back on Yes at 7:05 on Thursday. Yankees hit the road with 3 in Pittsburgh Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
4 o'clock Friday game. Must be their opening day, huh?
Yeah, I would think so. Two 2-0 on Isaac Collins.
Mike, I'm really glad our first game together this year, we got to spend over 3 hours together.
Yes, it's always nice.
How many times will you two do this?
Oh, a lot. We're in the 60s or 70s, easy. That's like a day off for him, though. He's like 100 150 plus a radio show, a couple other shows.
Check swing. Peraza, not in time. As Collins beats it out.
Well, we talked about it all day. Milwaukee, most of the lineup run extremely well. Peraza kind of shifted over to play him to pull, and it just kind of a excuse me single.
Now, Paul, I know you were wondering about this. The Yankees have never had a 20-9 win. The Giants have only won in 1991 against the Cardinals. The Jets have only won 1998 against the Dolphins. Here's Eric Haas. Runner goes. And they'll let him take second on a swing and a miss. Oh, 0-2, strike away. Yankees got out of the starting blocks great last year, and that benefited them when they ran into a little bit of a slide in the middle 35 games. But you can't lose a season early, and you can't win a season early, but you can help yourself get through some of the rough spots by piling up wins early.
Yeah, they were 49-21 their first 70 games.
Yep.
And Garrett Cole didn't pitch till game 76.
And then they had a stretch where I believe they were 11-25. But they ended up winning the American League East and the American League pennant and going to the World Series against the Dodgers. 1-2. 2-2. Volpe. And the Yankees win 20-9. They club 9 home runs. And they just do big-time damage. They lived up to their name, the Bronx Bombers, in a big way, especially Aaron Judge with the 3 home runs and the 8 ribbies.
Well, hopefully this is the kind of baseball that you're going to see up and down through the lineup. Obviously, you're not going to see 20 runs every time out. You are going to see that guy, Aaron Judge, hit a lot of home runs. But big bay by Bellinger. Volpe, you could go down the list. So I just think this is a different feel to a team that's going to have to help 1 through 9 instead of just a couple guys.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. And seeing Austin Wells play against left-handers and having success today got me kind of excited. And Jazz Chisholm also having success. So their lefties are going to have to hit lefties because they're going to see a lot of them out of the bullpen. Not necessarily starters, but out of the bullpen, and that's a good sign.
Pretty cool necklace Judge has on. He has a gavel, and he laid down the gavel today with 3 home runs and 8 ribbies. The captain with a lot of crunch on this Saturday afternoon. take a look at the Allstate good hand.
Top of the fourth, bases loaded, 2 outs. Jazz Chisholm makes this really good catch over the shoulder. Score was 13-4 at the time, but if it falls, who knows what can happen. Outstanding play by Jazz Chisholm.
Now we move right to the Cadillac drive of the game. Drives of the game this time, Paul.
Yeah, it usually takes a team, but not today. Aaron Judge in the first inning, his first of the year, and now in the third, his first grand slam of the year. And in the fourth, number 3 on the day. In the 6th, he hit one off the wall, too. What a day for Aaron Judge.
Gomez the win for the Yankees. Cortez took the loss in his return to the stadium as an opponent. He lasted just 2 innings, gave up 8 runs. Aaron Judge 4 for 6, 9 home runs for the Yanks. That's a franchise record. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and John Flaherty. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and the executive producer of the Yes Network is Jared Ames Boschnack. Join us again tomorrow as